So what is going on, guys? Welcome to another Garden Warfare 2 video. Today is another ability comparison video, and today we're going to be taking a look at the Super Ultra Ball, the Super Multi Ball, and the brand new ability for Super Brains called the Super Guided Ultra Ball, which is available from Rooks a week ago for 500,000 coins. Unfortunately though, Rooks isn't here anymore, so if you didn't buy that ability, you are not going to be able to get it right now. But Justin Weeb did say on Twitter that you will have another chance to get this ability in the future. Personally, I feel it should have been available in packs so that everybody has the same chance to get this ability. Even if there is a small chance of getting the ability in the packs, everyone still has a chance to get them, whether or not you could get on Garden Warfare 2 in those 4 days that Rooks was here. So, as we always start off these ability comparison videos, we take a look at the descriptions of these abilities. So the Super Ultra Ball says, the Super Ultra Ball is the ultimate in-plant stopping projectile. Fire it on the ground or while airborne, it's your choice. The Super Multi Ball says, what could possibly be better than launching a fireball from your hands? Launching at multiple fireballs from your hands, of course. And then the Super Guided Ultra Ball, which is the brand new ability, says, tired of plants dodging your fireballs? Worry no longer. The Super Guided Ultra Ball may be slow, but it sure packs a punch and it chases plants as well. So from those descriptions, you know that the Super Multi Ball fires multiple balls, the Ultra Ball is the standard ability, and the Guided Ultra Ball follows the plants, but it also moves a lot slower. So you have to keep that in mind, that it moves slower so that plants do have an easier chance of dodging it, but this ball will follow them round in the game, which I think is very good. Now, taking a look at the damage, the Super Ultra Ball does 150 damage. The Super Multi Ball, I couldn't really find a good amount of damage that the Super Multi Ball does, because it varies all of the time. If you hit them all directly, you're going to get a good amount of damage, but if you get one splash damage, whether that's the first ball, the second, or the third, each damage is going to change depending on how far you are away from hitting that target. So there isn't really a direct damage indicator that I could get for the Super Multi Ball, but what I do know is that it is very good when there are groups of plants together. And for the Super Guided Ultra Ball, mostly it does 150 damage, but in odd occasions, I've actually got 175 damage, and whether that's because the plant is next to a wall, so it gets splash damage of 25 as well, I don't know, but I have noticed that sometimes you can do 175 damage, but the majority of the time, you can do 150 damage, so you can take out all pea shooters, you can take out all sunflowers, and any plant that is at 150 health or less, which I think is very good, because you can use this ability, you can focus on either a different plant or the same plant, and you can still take it out. Now, taking a look at the cooldowns of these abilities, every single one of them has the same cooldown of 17 seconds. The only downside to the Super Multi Ball is because it takes longer to fire those balls anyway. It kind of works out that as soon as you press the trigger to use the ability, it's going to take a second longer, because it takes a second longer to actually finish firing the ability anyway. So technically they're all 17 seconds, but in theory of when you press it to use the ability, the Super Ultra Ball and the Super Guided Ultra Ball are 17 seconds, and the Super Multi Ball is 18 seconds. So moving over to the pros of each one of these abilities. The Super Ultra Ball, the pros is that it can move a lot faster than the Super Guided Ultra Ball, because those two are very similar. It can also be used at long range, whereas the Super Guided Ultra Ball cannot, because it only lasts a certain amount of time in the air. And the cons for the Super Ultra Ball is that it's not always accurate, and you're not always going to be able to hit the target plant, especially if you are using it from further away. Moving over to the Super Guided Ultra Ball, the pros of this is that it locks on to the plants. Also, it can occasionally deal up to 175 damage, so if you do get that ball to lock onto the plants, you can get at least maybe 150, 175 damage, which is pretty incredible for this ability. The cons though for the Super Guided Ultra Ball are that it moves very slowly, so because of that you cannot use this ability at long range, because it's going to blow up in mid-air before it even manages to get to the plants. So you want to be using this at very close range, which I actually prefer, because that kind of gets Super Brains into the place and position where it should be, where it's a melee character, so it should be right in the plant's faces, punching them, rather than being far back using his laser and taking them out that way. So those are the pros and cons for the Super Guided Ultra Ball. For the Super Multi Ball, the pros that it's good when there's a lot of plants grouped together. For example, if you're on turf takeover and you want to capture the objective and there's a lot of plants on it, you want to use the super multi-ball because you can do a lot of damage to a lot of plants. You're not necessarily going to get the vanquishes, but you can deal a lot of damage to them, get yourself some shared vanquishes or some assists, which is overall going to help the team win the game. The cons though is that it doesn't do a massive damage for one hit, so you need to hit all 3 of these multi-balls to be able to deal a huge amount of damage and possibly get the vanquish. If you miss a couple of them, it's not going to do a lot of damage, so that is the negative for the super multi-ball. But overall, in my opinion, I prefer the super guided ultra ball. That is my favorite ability to use out of these 3, just for the reason that it locks onto the plants, so you don't necessarily need to be very accurate. You can use the ability, focus on some other plants as well, and then still get the vanquish with that ability. Also, when using this ability, you have to be very close to the plants, which I prefer to use as super brains. I'm gonna die more often, but I feel like super brains should be played in this position. I don't feel that he needs his long range laser attack. He only needs his punches to be able to take the plants out. That is good enough anyway, so using the super guided ultra ball kind of forces you to play a more close combat position as super brains, which I do prefer. So that is the reasons why I do prefer the super guided ultra ball. Now let me know in the comment section down below which one of these you do prefer. I would love to know in the comments down below. I'm sure some people will prefer the super ultra ball to the super guided ultra ball. I don't really see too many people using the super multi ball because that's probably, in my opinion, the least favorite out of the 3, but let me know in the comment section down below which is your favorite. And if you did enjoy today's video, make sure you do give it a like. So there we go, that is my favorite ability to use for super brains, the super guided ultra ball. Thank you very much for watching. My name is ZEROxFUSIONZ, and hopefully I'll catch you guys next time.